Hello, peoples, my wonderful peoples. Welcome to the Wonder Show. I am Nosearte. Thank you for tuning in. This is episode 6. I have a special guest, Arturo Padilla, coming a little bit later, sooner than later. But before that, let's take care of some housekeeping. I want to reflect on last episode 5 with Sergio from Barrio Cafe. If you didn't catch the episode, you can catch it on the Sacramento Artist Corp page, Latino Center of Arts and Culture, or my Facebook page, Nosearte, and find all the wonderful wonder shows that I have up there. And it was a good interview. Sergio, if you didn't catch onto his vibe, he's just good peoples, and everything he thinks is for the community, and his place is there for you and your loved ones. So please support local. And yeah, 'tis the season, right? And a couple of shout outs. Yeah, on my end. And again, I think I was thinking about this. I want to make it clear that none of the things that we shout out here are for personal gain as far as like all the different resources. It's just because we believe in them. And first one is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. Again, so let me go on this little tangent that I thought about today. A big theme, I think, for this time has been people missing people and missing communities. And, you know, we're at a distance, but the community is still there. And things like this, like live streaming, phones, we have capabilities to see each other eye to eye, even though we're not able to see each other and read body language and give hugs as much. But I do encourage you, and this show will kind of talk a little bit about that, about making yourself a stronger person for your community when it comes back to getting to your community. And so we're going to kind of touch on that based on a lot of things we're going to talk about today. So I do encourage you, just make yourself a stronger individual. And sometimes we need other people. And there's resources and tools, if not in your community, and resources like this. So, you know, don't leave us so easy. Okay, let's fight it. And if you need to, this is here. I'm here. You're there. We're all here. Arturo's about to come in. And all the peoples are here. Okay. So just know that, you know, we're not all going to make it out alive, and that's just the fact of life. When it's our time, it's our time. But if we can help ourselves and not struggling, let's help ourselves and help each other not to struggle while we're here in this life. Okay? And just give a shout out to the Sacramento Artist Corp for putting all this stuff on. We have so many live streamers and all these different groups that are putting on all these programming with the Sacramento Artist Corps. We got the music group, which Arturo, who's going to come in, is going to share a little bit about that. Photographers and all that stuff. We have a lot of young minds at work with this. Let me put this little banner up here with the Sacramento Artist Corps right there. So we're putting the word out there against COVID and just making sure everyone's safe and we're all being cool. Okay. And the Latino Center of Arts and Culture for also showing these live streams and helping put the word out there. And I think in general, I think this is just helping the creatives of the Sacramento community to stay creative. And yeah, so CDC. If you need to know anything about COVID, what's going on nationally, the cdc.gov is there for you. Check them out. And locally, the Sac County Department of Health and Services, they have a lot of services as far as anything, your testing stations, counseling, food, whatever it is. Okay. And then I do have the NorCal Resist. NorCal Resist, awesome resource empowering communities. And they also have deportation defense, community fix it. So they'll come at your spot and help you fix whatever you need. Migrant know your rights classes, right? And amongst a bunch of other resources. So please check them out and validate them by visiting them. Okay. Now, I don't want to keep them too much in the waiting room. So let's introduce my first guest. He's my only guest today. And Marie, before I get going, wondering what a wonderful thoughts you have for us about the increase in COVID-19. Stay strong. Oh, okay. My thoughts is, well, I mean, we're resilient people, and whatever we need to do, I think we'll do it. And again, the unfortunate part is people are going to catch it, with more restrictions and sicknesses happening. But I do believe, we are capable, and we are survivors. We're children of survivors. And the reason why we're here, because people before us fought for us and battled and stayed strong. And so it's our turn to stay strong for the future generations. So thank you, Marie, for that. And again, at any point, if y'all have questions, ideas, shout them out. Okay, so a Sacramento native, Art Padilla, has been mastering the guitar since age 11. However, he's been playing professionally since 1999. His love and passion for guitars has allowed him to explore all types of sounds ranging from pop, punk, metal pop, rock, and country. He joined Sacramento pop punk band Nuclear in 2003, experiencing a musical boot camp, performing at over 70 high schools in a year, in addition to multitude of clubs and venues. He explored hard rock punk with DNR, Death and Revenge, as a guitarist, songwriter, and a backup vocalist from 2005 to 2007. DNR joined the National Vans Warped Tour 2 years in a row. In 2009, he joined Heroes Last Mission as lead guitarist, songwriter, and backup vocalist. HLM went on several successful national tours, including performing at South by Southwest, Journey's Backyard Barbecue, and Vans Warped Tour, and 98.5 FM's Sac Town Rocks. His ambition, humble approach, and creative flair makes him stand out from the rest of his musical interpretations and creations. And aside from being an awesome musician, he's just a cool ass dude. And so here he is, Mr. Arturo Padilla.
Hey,
Hello,
hey,
Mr. Arturo Padilla.
how you doing?
I'm well. Well, thanks for being on the Wonder Show.
Thanks for having me.
And for those who don't know, this is the man who made that beautiful intro song. And there,
Did you hear that?
that was my only. I'll give it a little backstory. That Snoopy harp was the only thing I wanted in the intro song, and he took it. I didn't give him much, but he took what I gave him as far as the idea, and he busted out with that cool song. So that's the guy right there.
That's the first time I ever got to record using that. It's just been sitting here for too long.
Beautiful, and now it's recorded on wax forever now with us. So Arturo, let us know a little bit about how you got into this musical game. Who are you in the Sacramento musical community, and what have you done, man? Tell us how you got started.
I don't know. I'm just a kid, just playing music because he loves it. Man, it was weird hearing you read back that bio / resume, because that's what I send out, so I'm able to play with other people, so they believe I could do it without meeting me, But yeah, just a musical family. Music was always on, and my dad was a guitar player. My grandparent on my mom's side was a guitar player, played in trio. Yeah, I used to sneak in my dad's closet and grab the guitars, even though I wasn't supposed to. And finally gave me the acoustic, and he's like, "You learn on this, and if you learn on this and you get good grades, I'll take care of you." And yeah, my dad's always taking care of me when it comes to music, and well, always. Both my parents, God bless them, because I played drums too in the house. So yeah, and then I got in the school bands and um, pulled some friends and made them play with me. Shout out to Alex and Paul, and yeah, man, I once I got in a band that I mean, I didn't know how legit nuclear was going to be or how serious it was, but when someone was I was working in radio doing promo, and someone was like, "Oh, you play guitar?" And they heard me, and they're like, "You need to contact these people." And once that happened, it was just over. Like I was hooked.
I think that whole thing with like the being legit. I think at that age, I'm assuming teenagers at that age, like legit is like just playing in general, man. Like if you get together and you guys learn one song together, that's legit. like
Oh
if
yeah.
you,
Oh the like the my friends that I'd pull them and you know, like let's jam, because that's all I ever wanted to do. And when we got a song down, like I was okay with jamming that song all weekend long, like
yeah.
all day Saturday, all day Sunday. I know they were tired. They wanted to go ride bikes and you know whatever it is we were doing, fishing, and
Yeah.
I'm like, so one more? Can we do one more? And yeah, good on them. They let me do a bunch more.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, I think it's also kind of a little showing about like maybe why you are where you are because you want to play again and again, and maybe like especially as young kids, like you you do it without knowing that it's gonna be something, or you just do it because it feels good. You're forming your
yeah,
identity. You're getting some confidence, and I think especially with the Wonder Show, this idea about like at the time, who knows what that wonder means, but you saw it through that wonder and kept playing, and I don't know, you just kept finding yourself in that. No,
yeah. I mean, I'm still wondering,
yeah,
you know, and I mean, you never stop learning music or your instrument. Um, so yeah, I'm always curious about what's next. What's the next step? And so far, and especially since COVID, it's never how you plan it. Even if you had a plan, it's never how you plan. Yeah,
right. I mean, I think that's been a big eye opener for a lot of us. No, I guess especially like those of you who work in the arts and the creative fields like that, where it's like, man, your accesses or your places where you go, your offices, I guess, were just cut off, and
yeah.
and so it's like what
That's a
to
good
do.
way of putting it.
Yeah,
Yeah, the office closed,
yeah,
and we don't know when it's gonna open. Yeah,
yeah. So but let's go back a little bit more. So like a teenager, you're
yeah.
playing in the music scene, garages, bands, and then how do you keep on going from there?
Um, like, well, yeah. After like doing the teenage thing and throwing like house parties in the garage and stuff, that was the first time like playing in front of people. But yeah, just going out uh with a group of guys and going downtown or um Nuclear was based out of Placerville, Pollock Pines, so like we do Placerville a lot. But we like you were reading you said something about boot camp.
Hmm.
Um, we played a lot of high schools through all over California, pretty much West Coast, but you know a lot in California. I think we played like 70, 80 plus high schools during the week, and then we'd play the local all ages club that weekend, you know, Friday or Saturday, and we did that a lot, and it was boot camp. Um,
Yeah.
you know, we were playing with, you know, power chords and playing pop punk, but we learned what it felt like to be a tight band, a tight unit, and high schoolers aren't the nicest people always, you know. So it was a good it was good training for yeah, what could happen.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, like imagine. I think if we can all kind of consider that our high school times. I don't know. At least I relate to that. It's like man, how dramatic was our mindset at the time, thinking like, oh, this is horrible. I'm gonna, it's like damn. Like
Yeah,
if you can survive high school, you can survive the rest of your life, I guess.
yeah,
If you can
and so we
survive your teenage years.
right, and so I did. I survived my regular high school, and then like once I got out of it, and then I was in a band. We went back into it to promote our band. I was like, man, why are we doing this to ourselves? But you know, in the end, it worked out. I learned a lot. Everyone in the group learned a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was definitely good times. Like all of it's funny. Like now looking back, and you know, someone didn't enjoy what song we were playing or how we were dressed or whatever, and you know, there's a pizza flinging our way. You know, um, maybe we needed to change up the set list. You know, like you know, the audience will let you know what you should do, and then you also know like you're not for everyone, and
Yeah.
everyone's not for you, and that's okay. There's
Uh,
there's there's lots of us, and there's lots of types and lots of way of thinking, and yeah. But that's a hard lesson to learn, especially when you're starting out, because you want can everyone just love me and love what I do? But
But that's
yeah,
but that's character building to the max. We were talking earlier about like sports and just anything that involves discipline and consistency is just character building to the max. And I want to encourage people who are watching right now, or just to, or watching in the future. If you have any questions, put them in the chat box, and we'll try to answer them. But also, just it doesn't have to be music. It can be anything that whatever you're going through, whatever you've been through, like connected to this. That's why I kind of wanted you to have people kind of connect to your journey to understand, like, okay, how can I take what Arturo's doing and apply it to my life in order to kind of advance? Because I think I don't know, you've been like my own musical padrino to kind of like watch what you do
oh
and
man,
just follow your lead too.
I
So I
appreciate
kind
that,
of want to
man.
put that out to people's too.
Yeah, I mean, and I learned it from other people too. Like you know, and my guitar teacher tells me this all the time. He's like, I didn't invent it. I'm just showing you now. And
Yeah,
yeah, but if you zoom out and you want to apply it to what you're trying to do, consistency is key in anything you're trying to be successful at, or just keep on moving forward. Consistency, uh, practice, practice
yeah,
consistency. You know.
and let that wonder like guide you, man. Because I mean, if it's not, because sometimes you could go into the music business or wanting to be in music, and then you realize like, oh, maybe I like managing better. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah,
there's different routes, and I think that let your wonder guide you what you're interested in, and then figure out what it is from there.
yeah, and that goes back to you might jump into this thing wanting to be a drummer, and then you come out like, oh man, I'm really good at promotion. Like I know what this artist or these bands are trying to do, or something involving music. It could be radio. It could just it, and especially like right now, in the younger you are, like try out different things, like especially if you like it, um, or you're just interested. It's the wonder, and just see what it is. You might really like it, and then you're like,
Right.
oh, maybe this is what I should focus on. But
Yeah.
it's good to have your hands in a bunch of things, because one day life might take whatever you thought you're supposed to do away from you, and not that you have like a backup plan, because I also think there's something to like, oh, this is what I'm going to do, and you just focus
Right.
on that. But as in the general like music, like since I like music, I also know how to record. I do live sound, um, and because of music, I learned to build websites and make flyers and promo, do Photoshop and take pictures and video,
Yeah.
and that all that didn't happen in one day. It was out of necessity. Yeah.
And speaking of multi-talented, we have our Julian Mendoza. Says,
And
I love y'all.
yeah,
That's the guy right there.
that's
The
another
same.
guy right there. Has just been, and he's been doing it alongside me. So like,
Yeah,
I've picked up a bunch from him. Maybe he's picked up one or two things from me, but that's one of my musical brothers. Like
your road dog.
I've been I've been very fortunate to play to play with the people I've been playing with, and not just the people that I share the stage with, just like everyone in general. I've been very fortunate. Yeah. I don't know how you get lucky like that. I have nothing to say about that, but yeah, I super appreciate it.
I think it has to do with like putting yourself in that position. We are talking earlier about preparation and opportunity meeting, like
Oh
getting
yeah,
yourself to take on that opportunity. And I think, I mean, and you can call it luck, but also think like, you have to kind of prepare yourself to cash in on that luck, because who knows, man, that call's going to come in and you
right.
can either say yes or no.
Well, weren't we just saying before we went live that well, is it like luck is opportunity plus preparation? You
There you
know,
go. Yeah.
so yeah, like yeah, luck sounds like like it's just a mystery, like, but it isn't. It You got to put yourself out there.
Right.
Otherwise, no one knows that you want to do that thing. And man, I was a shy kid. I mean, I'm still shy. Like the people that know me, they're probably surprised I'm talking to you right now on this live thing, man. Yeah. I mean, I if it wasn't for music, I wouldn't have seen or done or been to the places that I've been to. I probably would just be chilling at home.
I think most people would be surprised that their favorite musicians or artists are introverts. I think
Yeah,
the best ones usually are. And Julian followed up with saying, definitely I've learned from both of you. Well, it's
Mita.
completely mutual, man. All of us, I think
Yeah,
a big part of this whole game of wondering and wondering together as a community is just you feed off each other, because nothing is original. So you just kind of take other people's ideas and adapt it to your life and see what works, see what sticks, and just and move. So
yeah.
let's keep moving with your story, Arturo. So teenagers, now let's say you're back, you're getting to the whole professional game. What's that whole professional game like, and where have you played, or who have you played with?
Um, it's weird. It's not like I guess other professions where you graduate college, you get your diploma, and then you start the job, and you're like, I'm a professional now. I'm doing, uh, what I got my degree in. I guess that could happen in some cases in music, but how we were just talking about just doing it. Like I love that picture. That the band before this, Nuclear, but then with this band, we didn't care what other people thought. We treated music like a 9 to 5. Got in the rehearsal space Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and we just hammered it out. Man, all those my musical brothers, and like watching this is pretty cool. Um, but that's supposed to be Jackson. It got cut off, but yeah, look at us. We're playing in a hot topic. We just didn't take no for an answer. And yeah, man, like that's basically the mentality. Like I said, there's no college. You just go and do it, and and you surround yourself with people that have done it, that are better than you, and
Right.
you get humbled. There's a high school shot right there. Um, and that's pretty cool. That I was in high school listening to Oleander, and I got to be on stage with them. Oh, that's when I was in radio right there. Yeah, on K Street. Yeah. Um, yeah, man. I just went out and did it, and then I found other people, such as Julian, um, that just wanted to go out and do it. And maybe at the time that we were both thinking that we didn't we didn't know what it was, and maybe
Right.
my version of doing it and his version of doing it might not have been the same, but we both wanted to. And you get a group of guys like that, and you make some music, and then you say, let's get a van and a trailer and take it out on the road and see what happens. And you do it once, and I mean, I was hooked, and I just, how do we do it again, and how do we do it again, and
Yeah.
yeah.
That's one thing. I've been super fortunate to be this close to you and seeing your journey as far as like going on tour, playing with like national acts, with signed acts and all that kind of stuff. And talk a little bit about that, like what that's like, and what's been the maybe the difference or if there is a difference between, like, let's say those steps, like how do you take those steps to get to that place?
Um, honestly, there I mean the big difference is like no one's goofing off. I mean if they are, you're not gonna last long, but is I feel like it's like any other job. Like show up on time, like have a good attitude, and know your parts, like or know what you're there for, or how you and me always say, like, oh, what's your intention,
Right,
like
right.
know what you're there for, and just kill it at that. Just and by killing it, I mean just do your best. Um, and and if it works out, then they'll ask you again, and then if it doesn't, um, that's a learning point, and learn from it, and use it for the next one.
Yeah,
Because
my
I haven't got called back every time, um, and you know it's not it's not I wish there was a callback every time, but I mean that's just life, and learn from it, and move forward.
yeah, and I think we Arturo and I talk a lot, and we talk into all these little tangents and stuff like that. And I think one of the things we're talking about recently was about you never know. One, you never know who's watching, who's listening, but like you're mentioning earlier, like the network, like being good to people, um, making
Yeah,
sure you're making good networks, good connections, because that person could recommend you to somebody or something like that. And
ab-
well, people know who you are and they see you, and so they want to recommend you. So especially if they like you.
absolutely. I mean, like during this time, uh, with COVID and everything, like we're not playing live like we used to, venues full band, packed house, like that's not happening. Um, so I've been doing other things, and I've been getting calls from people and emails from people that I didn't even expect to hear from, but they're like, "Oh, I got asked to record, but I'm more a live sound. Uh, can I send them to you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, please." And I didn't even think that they would think of me, um, but I was I was just nice. Being
Yeah.
nice, being kind goes a long way, man. Um, yeah, don't don't be a jerk. Rule number one:
Wise,
don't be a jerk.
wise words. Don't be a joke.
Right?
So let's get into this now where we're at now. So for those who don't know, Arturo is part of the Corona Chords, which is a group that's also part of the Sacramento Artist Corp. And again, like there's different facets to this. We're funded by CARES funding from the Sacramento Office of Arts and Culture, and so he's also part of this community and creatives who are putting out this word, and also just creating, like, right, the city's getting together with a bunch of different organizations and making sure our creatives are being creative. And so talk a little bit about that, about how you got involved with Corona Chords and how's that going.
um. Well, I guess this touches a little bit of what we were just talking about. Because I did a video with my goddaughter. We did a cover song together, and my wife shared it on Facebook, and I think it was Marie that saw it. So it wasn't even me like reaching out to this. I got found, um, and then I found out what it was, and they're like, "Do you want to write some songs with other people and about COVID awareness?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah. you mean I get to write songs with people again? Yeah, that's cool." And the group is really cool. Shout out to Amy, Alexander, Pano, Harpo, and Dinora. They're all. It's cool being with all of them. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, and we help each other out, and it's just been really cool. And I know once like the thing is over, and uh, no more services are needed from the Corona Chords, I know all of us individually um, are going to get together and continue songwriting.
Yeah, and it's been pretty cool. They just had a live stream 2 days ago, so you can also catch that live stream on Sacramento Artist Corp, Latino
Yeah.
Center of Arts and Culture, and check out that interview. And they all played their live songs, and Arturo's going to be sharing one with us today. Before we get to that, let me show you some of the shout outs. He says, Shell Necklace, thank you for noticing, Salvador. Yeah, he's from those pictures from the slideshow.
Oh,
And he
that's what
said
he was talking
he
about.
said he'd call you back, you sexy beast. Aww. What a good guy. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Fabiola says I need that in a t-shirt. Don't be a
Oh.
jerk. Don't be a jerk.
uh, it's been on my mind. But these just came today. So if people are interested in these shirts, then I think the next run will be just like a black t-shirt. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll give the shirt a proper shout out. Let me keep on going with this. The networking and building new relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maria, good way to put it. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And you know
that's all it
what?
is, man.
Oh, and I was gonna say I've been to some like networking things where it feels really I don't even know how to say this. It feels really Hollywood. Do you know what I mean when I say that?
Yeah.
And um where it feels very LA. And and yeah, I and like, again I am an introvert. So but like once I meet you, we make connect, like, I we're good. Like I'll help you out. And yeah, I'll help you out as much as I can.
Maria
But
says, just say it. Just say
yeah, yeah.
it.
But yeah, just don't, like, when you go to these networking things, or even if you go, I don't even know if you have to, but they used to have them. I don't know if they're still going to
I,
do them
I,
after
I
COVID, but
think
you know what I'm talking about? Like,
I
oh,
think
go and hang out with these people and rub elbows with them. I'm like, everyone is doing the same thing. Like, you're not really making a connection. Like, I think the real networking is when you get to sit down and, like, don't forget the ego. Like, just
yeah.
like, let's talk. you know?
Yeah, and I think too, each individual can kind of get their own sense about how to feel out people, because it can get very political sometimes, as far as, like, they're shaking hands and kissing babies because they want to get ahead, as opposed to, like, because they really want to shake hands and kiss babies. You know what I mean? Like, because they believe in it. It's like, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. And I mean, there's probably a right way to play that game.
right.
I'm just not. I don't want to play. Yeah.
And Jocelyn, fellow Raices and Sacramento, and shout out to fellow
Yeah.
introverts. That's right. We out here, and we in here too. we in here, we out here, but we in here
Yeah.
especially.
Oh yeah. We always hanging out in here.
Becky says, "I want a shirt. I'll wear it in LA."
I didn't mean anything bad by that, but I
I,
didn't mean anything good either.
I think maybe a bumper sticker would do better, since you're sitting in that traffic all the time. You can
No, I
read it
got
all
you.
day,
I got you, Becky. And
and
nothing
nothing
coming.
coming from it, and no connections and real talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. Yeah. That's what. Yeah. I don't know. It's like going on a merry-go-round. Like, you're moving, but you ain't going anywhere. Uh, so yeah, it's just not for me, I guess. But there are people that get something out of it. It's not for me.
And I think that it's hard to be yourself in general, like to feel comfortable in your own skin. I think it's everybody's own personal idea what that feels like and looks like. But I think, the more you do it the more you feel like yourself, the more you start realizing who other selves are. You start feeling real knows real, I guess, is what it
Yeah,
is.
I think so.
I hope so. No?
Yeah, me too. Fingers crossed.
Well, let's do this. So, Corona Chords, Arturo had the opportunity to write a song. Well, tell us about the song before, introduce the song before you play it for us today, please.
Yeah. Well, it came about when well, we had our first meeting with all the songwriters we got together, and everyone had an idea already. And I was like, no, I thought we were gonna write something maybe, or just like, you know, get to know each other. And we did. And we did. And I mean, a good way of getting to know each other, especially like a creative person, is let them share their creatives. And
Yeah.
so everyone was sharing an idea, and I did bring a guitar. I thought I was bringing a guitar to play along with something, because that's what I usually do. But you know, I also signed up to be in the songwriters group to challenge myself, and um, you know, can I write a song on my own, but like with people? So like I had an idea, a verse and chorus, and Amy, our mentor, uh, when I sang it, she's like, I totally see someone laying in the hospital, and once she said that, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be from the perspective of someone there, laying and like going through stuff in their head. Um, so I mean, that's the whole premise of the song.
All right.
Yeah.
So while you're doing that, while you're getting yourself prepped, let me
Yeah, yeah.
change up this little ticker. I do want to shout out this other Sacramento resource 211 for anybody that, if you have any questions about resources, disaster, if a disaster happened in your life, you lost your job, you need a place to stay, whatever it is, any sort of resource to help you improve your life or help your life for the moment, they're there for you, 211. So utilize that resource right there, and it's a really good resource, and they'll connect you, and they do have multiple languages as well. Okay, so let me set you up right here, Arturin. And yeah, so what's this song called?
It's called "Get Out of This."
Get Out of This. So here's Arturo's Corona Chords. Get Out of This, and yeah, let this song tickle that little wonder of all of yours. All right, here we go.
Hello. I wish I didn't have to see you again. I don't like you. I don't want you. I never did. I never did. You jumped out of color screen, making nightmares out of dreams. You jumped out of color screen, making nightmares out of dreams. When will I ever get out of this? When will it feel like home? When will I ever get out of this? When will it feel like home? These hospital lights dim my whole world, and the weight of it all on my chest. A non-believer until you made me believe. Now I'm surrounded by these lonely walls. I see myself in your colored screen, making nightmares out of dreams. now I lay here begging for a chance that I'll see another day. When will I ever get out of this? When will it feel like home? When will I ever get out of this? When will it feel like home? I wish that 2020 was clearer. Looking back, I know I was wrong. I swear that I can be better. Give me the strength to hold on. When will I ever get out of this? When will it feel like home? When will I ever get out of this? When will it feel like home? When will I ever get out of this? When will it feel like home? When will I ever get out of this? When will it feel like home?
Atta
There it
baby.
is, man.
Atta baby.
Yeah.
So Get Out of This, written and composed by Arturo Padilla
With the Corona Chords.
with the Corona Chords.
With the Corona Chords. Like
Yeah. So we have Kelly. Kelly New says, love it. We got
nice.
smiley faces from Mia.
Check that
Brittany
out. Thank
says,
you guys.
woo, woo, woo.
Woo!
She said she's asking, are you taking requests? Unfortunately, we can't take requests right now, Miss Brittany Zakaya.
We have Facebook orders or something like that with requests or something like that, right?
Yeah. It's illegal.
Yeah, it's illegal.
Mia says, play it again. We missed it.
You'll hear it again.
It's being recorded. Susie says, timely. Yes. Very good word to use for that.
Yeah.
Timely. I think it's very, very timely.
Nice. Do you remember the little stickers on CDs? And it would say like this song, and it would say like a little blurb because it was a small sticker, so it would have a little red sticker and it'd say timely on it.
Marie, applause. Marie's always with the support. Lovely
thank you,
support,
guys.
Marie. Mama Lolis says, bravo.
My mom's on Facebook.
Dice, eso es todo, mijo.
Yeah.
Fabiola, so talented, really proud of
Thank you.
Let me go back just a little bit. Maria, she says, honored to be involved with the video audio team with Sac Artist Corp, and I share your sentiment about authenticity of this project. Yeah, man, I think this is all helping all these creatives stay creative. Also, just keep your identities too. Keep those identities
absolutely
instilled.
And it's just the beginning of working together. Like for all of us. Like, I mean, you're in the live stream group, and I met Ruben yesterday. Maria, I met her like when she's been helping out and educating us, and the whole process has been really cool. Just I don't think I would have ran into these people if it wasn't for this. Some good has come out of the bad. There's always there's the dark side and there's the light side. Sometimes it's harder to find the light, but it's there.
Yeah, and just because we were limited doesn't mean we couldn't see the potential. I mean, that's what creatives do. They see the potential and limitations. And Marie, Artist Corps, has a purpose, of course. Talk to others about the virus, help folks stay safe, and make for more authenticity and more humanity. Thanks, all. Very good, Marie. Uh, very well said. Yeah, I think if anything, these little projects, I say little projects, in the grand scheme of thing, it's a little step, but it's moving us forward, I think. And hopefully, anybody can kind of watch this and see this and maybe get a little bit of, again, the wonder show for me is, to hopefully maybe stimulate that wonder in each individual. It doesn't have to be necessarily about music or art or anything. It's just about keeping yourself healthy and safe and making sure you're doing what you can for yourself, because we can only control what we can for us. And music is one of those things too. And I think that's why we're here. We're here to share. And
I agree.
yeah, I got stunted with all these little.
No, I agree. No, my dad's on Facebook, and then both my parents have those emojis. Like I don't even know where you make that, but like I get to see my parents' cartoons on Facebook.
They're hip.
What a crazy time! I love
Very
you guys.
hip. Brittany's giving the hearts.
Oh
Let
man,
that catch him, Miss Britt.
how do you? Mine looks like a tomato.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like a cantaloupe or something. What? Look at wifey. What?
Oh man, Arturito should be asleep. I'm just playing.
Yeah. And for
I
those
love
who
you
don't know,
guys.
Sulema, who was on episode 4, I believe.
I think it's 4. Yeah.
Yeah, they're lovers. Arturo and Sulema are lovers. So imagine that, a dynamic duo with so much to offer.
Oh man,
And
she helps me out a lot. If you watch that episode and you're like, man, she's super helpful. I'm like, she's doing it with me every day. Like, I yeah. I mean, I there's nothing I can say. Yeah.
and Mia says, "Love you guys." So we love you too, Mia.
Yes, we do.
And I think in all this, I mean, I was thinking about this earlier earlier in the day about having people on your team, and I was happy to kind of have you on the show, because to highlight you, who I feel like you're on my team and I'm on your team, and in general, I think a lot of these people on this chat box right now, we're
I
on the
think
same
so.
team.
I think so. Yeah.
And man, like the potential with what we have here, and in general, man, I think this opportunity to live stream and share what we have and share what we think and not be so afraid about all this kind of stuff,
I
but just
know
moving forward.
it is scary. I mean, especially if you're new to it. I mean, this is my second one. My hands are sweaty, man.
Or clammy.
It's funny, like, cause I'm sitting, I'm in my house, I'm in the home studio, and you'd think that you'd be more nervous with like a crowd in front of you, but I don't know. For some reason, like, maybe
Yeah.
not knowing like what you're doing right there. Like, are you yawning? Like, are you bored? Like, but yeah, the I miss the instant like reaction, and yeah, but again, going back, we're just adapting. We're adapting and surviving.
Yeah. And the best is deal, she says, Miss Brittany and
Mira,
Fabiola with the hearts.
nice.
And so with this, again, wonder is a beautiful thing. I think it's going to get us out of this moving forward. And I say out of this as far as the corona virus,
Get
because
out of this.
let's get out of this. What? So timely. No, you did not miss this. So we're going to get into the shout outs right now in a little bit. But before we get into that, let, let's talk a little bit about moving forward. What do you have going on moving forward, Arturo? Music or just in life in general?
um, just everything that I've been saying. I mean, it's true. I'm not just saying it. So like, um, yeah, I don't know when venues are going to open up, or or if it does open up, what it's going to look like. So I mean, I've been adapting. Like everything I did today was with my guitar and my looper, and I've been doing that. So to still be able to play out. But I've been in the studio a lot, working virtually here at home. People send me their files, I mix it, I send it back, and then also I don't know what things are going to look like, because I think things are changing with regulation rules of like being able to stay open or not. But the Track Shack Studios over here in Sacramento has been open on the weekends, and I'm fortunate enough to I've been there for a while, and I've been working there on the weekends with clients, and it's a really nice studio. So if you need any of those services, like hit me up. I'm gonna start doing Zoom guitar lessons, and so if you're interested in that, you can hit me up too. But yeah, that's what's going on in the future, and I guess to segue is since I'm not playing as much as I was, and that's why I'm doing other things to make ends meet. I even have like my website promotions hat going on, and I help people like Southern Creations. They're a small business here in Sacramento, and they do food delivery, and so I've been helping them out, and I'm just all the hats that I've been learning to wear. I'm stacking them up on top of each other, and I'm wearing them all at once. But yeah, that it comes to the shirt. The shirt's available on my website. You can use the code word Wonder to get 10% off, but that's another way I'm making ends meet. So because I don't just want to like receive. I wanted to give something too. So I figured a shirt, and I really like this logo done by a local artist, Andrew Barnhart. And I was like, I got to turn it into a shirt and sell it. And it's a great way for people to support me when they're wearing it. Someone might ask them like, what's that about? But, and financially it helps me out when you buy a shirt too.
Yeah, and I think it goes with the idea that I think support local, man. I think this is what we need to support local as much as possible. Not only the musicians, but local businesses. And in this case, we have Arturo here, who's a local musician. And he's obviously, I think if you were able to see the slideshow, he's been in this music scene, keeping the music scene in Sacramento alive and thriving, because he's been all over the place, and also being I think, an awesome representative as far as being a person from here and expanding out to Nashville and all those different places that he's gone to. So if there's any way you can support. So right there, Arturo Padilla, artpadilla.com. Let me show a couple more comments. So Mia wants to give a shout out to Susie French. Say yes, #timely.
#timely.
Maria says, love the shirt. It is an awesome shirt. And check it out. He's got picks too for those guitar players. Let me get the right lighting.
How did I hand that over to you? Wait,
I think I stole it because I didn't have a pick.
Nice.
And Bernie's showing a little T-shirt right there.
Yeah.
And Mia says, yes, ordering mines.
Going back to like our community and our bubble, like, man, I just went on Instagram on the stories, and I just announced this like right before we went live, and I've already sold a few, like more than a few, and I appreciate everyone that you watched the story to begin with, but then like you went on the website and you bought it. Like, that's crazy to me. I mean, I've had plenty of shirts and bands and stuff, but this is my first time having a shirt just to me, and it feels super weird. If I'm being totally honest, and I mean, that's what I'm known for being honest. So yeah, it feels weird. It's very uncomfortable. The introvert is feeling very uncomfortable, but yeah, I appreciate everyone that's been supporting me and that's supporting me. Yeah.
And for any connections too, again, Arturo and I were talking about this. If this idea of networking, if there's anything you need to know music wise, or you need some sort of connection, he's your guy. Hit him up. And all socials you can find. I'm all backwards. Yeah. You can go on the website, check it out, find socials. He's got videos of covers and really, really cool stuff on top of the merch too.
Yeah, if you watch one of those covers and like you're interested on how I did something, whether it's just like a little quick like, hey, how'd you do this? Like, yeah, hit me up. Or if we need to sit down for a longer conversation, then maybe we can FaceTime or Zoom, or or maybe I do a live stream and you ask me your questions. Like, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and especially if you have a young one, and like I think right now there's a lot of anxiety amongst our youth,
Yeah.
and so if you have a young one that's interested in guitar, Arturo's got guitar lessons. But in general, man, let's connect. Let's try to get our young ones through this time, because it's hard enough to be a teenager, like we was talking about.
Right.
In general, I mean, I think we all kind of know it. Like it's difficult to be a teenager, but I can't imagine a teenager now where you're really really limited, and there's a lot of stresses in the house and the community and the world. And so let's give them some sort of hope with their wonders. And if they ever wonder about music,
Yeah.
that's your
I mean,
guy right
a
there.
lot of people are wondering about music right now, or just they've been wondering,
Yeah,
but like now they have a chance. I mean, guitar sales are through the roof. Um,
yeah,
so I'm really excited in like 10 years, or I mean, for some not even that long, but in a few years there's going to be some terrific talent, and I mean I can't wait, and we're going to see like the surge, like
yeah.
and just a rising talent of guitars, and if you're looking for a guitar, since a bunch of people bought it, not everyone's going to stick with it, so there's your chance to get a good deal on a used one.
Yeah, and let's go to that first shout out. So I do ask my guests if they have any shout outs, and the first one Arturo says was Music Go Round. Talk
Yeah,
a little
man,
bit
I
about
love
that.
that store. There used to be one closer to me, but this one's in Elk Grove, and I drive out there. Um, I check out their Instagram. That's their website. And I think they know me in there enough, because like I've been in there enough. But again, I'm an introvert, but they deserve the shout out. It's just recycled instruments, and so someone else takes the hit and they take it there to sell it, and then so you can buy it cheaper, and they're not going to buy anything that's broken or messed up, so you're going to get something that's decent, discounted price. Yeah, so I love that store.
And you're not endorsed; it's just a shout out, man.
No, no, like I
It's
said,
good
like
business.
I they know my face, but they don't know me. They just, oh, that's that guy that buys stuff like every once in a while. I'm like, yeah, well, I
Like,
mean,
oh
I am.
yay! And talk about Rick Beato. He's
Oh,
another shout out.
yeah, Rick Beato. I don't remember exactly how I found him. There he is. Yeah, but he's just a cool cat. Like he used to play in a band. He's a producer, engineer. Um, I think he has some hits with Shinedown. But he's just someone that's been doing it, and so even I can't be in the room with Rick Beato, but he has a great YouTube channel. And he has a great Instagram. His Instagram's like more guitar, uh, geared for guitar, and his YouTube, he dives in deep on music theory, um, like the ins and outs of recording. I mean, I've used his resources a couple of times now, where I'm like, man, I've never recorded that instrument. Let me search on YouTube if Rick has recorded it, and he's helped me out more than once. So that's why I thought it was worth bringing him up.
He also has a really cool, and you brought this to me, this video to me, that's really popular too amongst, I guess, I'm sure everybody in the music world, but about ear training and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
perfect
It's
pitch.
incredible.
Yeah, his young kid, he kind of trained his young baby to have perfect pitch. And if you don't know about perfect pitch, watch his video on YouTube, and you'll get schooled and see it in firsthand, like in
Yeah,
practice with
it's
this
am-
child.
it's amazing because his kid will be facing away from him, and he'll play. When his kid was younger, I think he would just play a single note, and his kid would be like, "That's an A, that's a G," like, and but now he's super complex chords, and it's just something I'm jealous of, and I wish that I had. But I found out he had an app, and it's basically how your kid absorbs how to speak a language. You're just immersing your kid in all these different intervals and complex music, and so I've been using that app and playing songs that you get a different playlist every month, and I use that every day since before my kid was out of the womb. um so I don't know if it's guaranteed to work, but he does love music, my kid. So Yeah, we'll see. We'll do another live stream, and I'll let you know how it went with that perfect pitch. But
Yeah.
I'm jealous of anyone that has perfect pitch, man.
Shout
That
out
that's
to
super helpful.
R2D2. Shout out to R2D2. We have
Yeah,
one shout out. She says, "Thank you, Arturo, for supporting the shop small business and playing when you can."
of course. Yeah, shout out to Bless Your Heart Market.
Yeah, out there in Lincoln,
Yes.
small business. Go support them in downtown Lincoln. You'll be surprised. For those who don't know, a lot of people show up to downtown Lincoln and be like, "I've never been here. It's really cute. It's really nice," and it is.
Yeah.
And go say hi to Mia
Yeah.
out there.
Stop by
Bless
the
your heart.
shop and then like walk around and get something to eat,
Get
something to
some bites.
drink, and I mean, yeah, do it safely, but go do it.
Talk about this guy.
Oh man, what can I say? That is my dude. That's Tommy Armstrong Levet, and that's his Instagram right there. He's in between websites right now, so he's going to get that up. But that's my guitar teacher. I've known him since I was a punk, like 14-year-old, 15-year-old, and I I I mean he's my guitar teacher today. Like it hasn't been like uh since I was 15. I haven't been taking guitar lessons, but I always go back to him cuz you know, you learn and then you go out and do it. And then I bring back more problems to him. And like here's what I'm dealing with. And then he's like, "All right, well, here's the next step." And yeah, man, like I have a lesson scheduled December, I think it's next week. I got to get ready for it. But man, yeah, it's cool to have someone like that. Everyone should have someone like that with the thing that you're trying to do. Just someone that you can reach out to and be like, "Hey, here's my problems. Like,
Yeah.
what would you do?" Because he has way more knowledge than I do, not just in the actual instrument, but like going out there and doing it. Um, so yeah, Tommy's my guy.
Another shout out to Let That Wonder Guide You. Again, like if you have any questions, ask. And if it's not one of us or anybody you know in your circle, go find someone who has an answer because there's people out there, man, who have it
Yeah.
all. Not all, but have an answer. And let's give one more to Skip's Music. What do you want to
Yeah,
say about them?
it's just another local music place. They sell used gear too, where music around is all about used gear. Skips has a used section, and actually, I got my first guitar. My dad bought me my first electric guitar at Skips Music. They were having where they used to have a used tent sale, and anything in the tent was used. And yeah, I got my first Yamaha Strat, something like that. I had a whammy bar. That's all I cared about.
Those who know.
Yeah.
I think life in general is full of aha moments, but music has its own kind of ways of having aha moments. And I think like let's say a whammy bar is like oh look at that or even drop D when you learn about drop D and
Yeah.
there's all little things and going back to your guitar teacher Tommy,
Yeah.
um, I am I guess one of the disciples of his teachings because I have taken guitar lessons with Arturo
Mm,
and
right.
and we use his book and he has a book that actually breaks it down really nice and it's visual, it's step by step and yeah, I do recommend
Yeah.
Tommy and Arturo
Yeah, get that
for
book. He's not in the Sacramento area, but he is doing Zoom lessons. That's how I do it with him. But I learned out of that book. Um, so I would be teaching you the out of that book. So even if you don't want an instructor, just get the book. It's a great starting point. Especially if you get Chord Camp 1, it's like the beginning. It tells you like this is string number 1. It's called E. My dad loves that book. Yeah, even my dad opened up that book and recently, and I'm proud of him for after all these years, for trying to learn, because it's hard when you've been doing things for a certain way for so long, and then you're like, I'm gonna pick up this guitar, but I'm gonna look at it from a different perspective. It's not always the easiest thing to to change your perspective.
Yeah, and I think we're kind of forced to during this pandemic. No, I think
Yeah.
grabbing something like a guitar, grabbing any instrument, and figuring out like what it is, what's good for you. And it could be sewing, it could be let's say making videos, whatever it is, man. Like find out what it is where your wonder is at, and
Yeah.
see it through, and see it through.
Absolutely.
So yeah, good resources. So those were Arturo's resources. But I do want to make sure remind you we have 211. That's a Sacramento resource. You just dial 211 on your phone. Any sort of resource. They have disaster relief. They also have if you lost your job, if you need a place to stay for the night, any sort of resources to help you out. And to finish off before I let you go, Arturo, before we finish off here, I do want to make sure we give a shout out to. Sorry, let me find my banners. The Sacramento Artist Corp. There we go.
Yeah.
The Sacramento Artist Corp for putting this on and putting us together, and again, kind of organizing all of us in order to put this word out there, to stay safe. And again, the Wonder Show is more so focused on mental health and just stimulating that wonder, because I'm a big believer of your wonder is going to save you, and especially when you least expect it. But also trying to capture that wonder in our little ones and try to harness it and cherish it, so that way they can grow up, living through their wonder and having a wonderful life. Eh?
I like it. I like it a lot.
And if you want to follow me, you can follow all my little shenanigans on Facebook and Instagram. Mira nomás a Nosearte. Nosearte Life on YouTube, so you can see some of my shenanigans in movement right there. And then if you have any sort of questions with me, or you want to kind of get any sort of these resources again, you can email me at noseartelife@gmail.com. So thank you all for sticking with us. I appreciate it. Any last words, Arturo? Any shout outs out there before we let you go?
I hope I give a shout out to, I mean, there's so many people, but I mean, just anyone that's ever been involved in my music, or I mean, it has been watching me, and you can tell, like, I've been trying to do it, and you guys just been cheerleading me along the way. Like, I have so many people that are just like, don't stop, just keep on going, and on the days when you wake up and you're like, what am I doing? Because there's plenty of those. Those thoughts of keep on going from other people actually does let you get up and keep on going, man. So I appreciate everyone, like all my musical brothers and sisters, anyone that's ever like booked a project that I've been in, or management. Shout out to Petey Wonder. I've learned so much from him. He's a main engineer at Track Shack. Yeah, I was an intern there. But yeah, shout out to Petey Wonder. Peter De Leon is his real name. But yeah, man, there's just so many people that they might not consider themselves teachers, but they've been teaching me. And speaking of Eric Chun, actually a teacher at American River College, I think he's done soon. So congratulations to him. But another one, he's an actual teacher, so yeah, he had to teach me. But but and the funny thing is, I learned so much for him, like when we weren't in the classroom. Like that's where, like, we just got in the studio, in his home studio, and he invited us to his home. Like, not a lot of teachers do that. So he's a real one. And just everyone that's been cheerleading and supporting, you have no idea how much that means.
Well, it's well earned. You've earned this position. And again, if you have any questions for Art Padilla and get to know this cat, check out his website and connect with him. He has a lot of resources. He's just a resourceful type of cat. Yeah, so I appreciate you coming on to the show. And I think it went well. I think a lot of people love it. We got a lot of shout outs. So Mia says, thank you for giving us hope, resources, and music to fill my heart. Love this wonder. Thank you, Mia, for tuning in.
Thank you.
Mama says, keep on going.
Yeah. My family's never told me to stop. Even if maybe they had every right to, So, that's my number one fan right there. That's my brother.
There's bro.
Yeah.
If you can impress him, then you can impress anybody.
Yeah, man. No, he knows. He loves music, and you're right. You're absolutely right. If he gives you the thumbs up, that means that's a big deal, man.
That's the Johnny Carson like this for the comics,
right? I was gonna say there's more value in his thumbs up than a Grammy.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
right. So if you get a thumbs up from him, like you're doing
I think that needs to be the T-shirt, the next T-shirt of that. Giving the thumbs up like this. And okay. Mia, she's turned on the waterworks.
Oh man, I hope they're good.
Well, what's this at? Well, thank you again, Arturo, for jumping on and sharing your stuff and your goods and your mind and your wonder, and for that song, man, and bust it out. And again, just for being a good example for the community.
Thank you, man. And I wanted to make sure to thank you too. You're one of the ones cheerleading, but not just like you get in there. You're not just on the sidelines. You're like cheerleading, like but you're the player right next to me too, and you're like, man, you gotta go do that layup yourself, man. And yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, it's why I'm here on the show.
That's how I mask my insecurity.
What's that?
That's how I mask my insecurity. I'm like, you play. Like, I want to play.
No, but I appreciate that a lot. Appreciate you a lot. And that's it. I'm done talking. But I brought the Snoopy harp, so I'm going to play along to the outro.
Oh, yeah. So, again, this is the guy that made my outro video, but I'm the one dancing. So check it out. So thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. Have a beautiful night. Sleep well. We're on our way. And keep wondering.
I wonder about it.